One thing I really love about Korea is cycling roads. First time in fourth year, I was excluded fully.
Sounds amazing, right?
Very nice.
Introduce yourself to our subscribers, please.
My name is Ismail. I'm a student in Korea. My major is environmental engineering. I've been living in Korea for about 3 years now.
You're from Kazakhstan, right?
Yeah, I'm from Kazakhstan. I'm half Turkish, half Kazakh.
Okay. So, what was your initial reason for coming to Korea?
The biggest reason was to study. So I know that since my brothers, my sisters, my siblings were here, I had a quite good idea of the education system and how good is it. So my purpose to come to Korea was mostly to study.
Okay.
University.
Since we're both from Kazakhstan, I can relate to the application system. Applying for universities from Kazakhstan. Could you please describe this process for anybody who might be wondering?
To be honest, the system is quite like structured, and it wasn't really hard when I compare it to the other universities abroad. Like I was also planning to apply to America and also Europe, but when I was applying to Korea, the system is quite structured, so it was quite a bit easier. I had a lot of documents I need to submit. Statement letter about myself, why I wanna apply to Korea, what do I wanna do in Korea, what is my plans, and how did I get here. Other than that, basic transcript, your GPA, any additional documents you wanna submit, like any certificates, any hobbies you're interested in, what did you do in high school. So those were the basic documents I needed to submit.
Okay.
And the rest was easy.
Why that is easy to the procedures to enter the university?
The requirements, you mean, or the procedures? Like the procedures, like I was in Kazakhstan at the time, and it was COVID, so things were quite a bit hard to send it by post, email, or anything.
Right.
So it was really easy. They had a website for all Korean universities for students who's applying from abroad, studying in Korea, if I'm not mistaken. So only thing I needed to was to register myself, upload every document, upload my statement, my GPA, all the documents I needed. And after that, I could apply to any university in Korea after I registered in that website. So that was quite useful, since if I wanted to apply to any other university, I didn't have to do the process from beginning. So that was quite convenient.
I see. I guess our experiences are quite different because when I applied to university, as you said, you registered at one website and applied for every university you wanted, right?
Yeah.
I applied to universities individually. So I submitted different sets of documents and stuff. And also, I've noticed that you said it was structured and easy, but comparing to the USA, for example, the US doesn't require the physical documents. You can just scan the documents, send it to them, while Korea also requires apostille. So you still believe it's easier than other countries?
So, for example, the apostille things took a lot of time to me as well in Kazakhstan, because it takes around a month.
Right.
You need to apostille everything, you need to stamp everything. Whereas in America, the thing that was hard is the structure wasn't very right. So if I want to get an information about the university and the website, like I had to go to the different website, I need to find the page, the information I needed. It took me hours and hours. In Korean system, it was quite easy. I just wrote my university name, admission. I got all the information I needed.
Interesting.
Postal things, of course, this small hiccup in the whole story, but for me it was very easy.
Got it. University application weren't any trouble for you?
Visa application, it had some problems because the embassy in Kazakhstan, it was due to COVID, they wasn't open. So I was trying to apply. It was like mid 2021. I need to get the funds that I need to be able to show in order to study in Korea. And also, when I was just applying due to COVID, the embassy closed.
Right.
So I couldn't apply on time. So I had to go to Turkey, apply to the Korean embassy in Turkey. And the line for the Turkish Korean embassy in Turkey, they gave me an appointment a month later. So it was like, I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to make it to my semester on time.
I see.
And it's going to create a lot of problems for me. So the visa process was quite a bit challenging, but of course, not every country, they don't want to allow anyone to their country.
That's true.
So I understand why all the hassle.
Please introduce the university that you study at, your department, and how do you find studying at your university in general?
So my university is UNIS. It stands for Ulsan National Institute of Science and Technology. It is based in Ulsan, and it's a university for engineers and business students mainly. It is one of the upcoming young universities in Korea. I believe in engineering it has a quite good
That's right.
listing. And it's a quite challenging university because they are trying to be best. Their motto is like be in top 10 universities around the world by 2030. So they are like quite ambitious in that matter. My university, my study life is quite good over there because it's a smaller city and my campus, my university campus is outside the city. So I live in the campus, I stay in dormitories. I don't have any problem with transportation. I don't have any problems with living since I don't have to go to the realtors, find a house or anything. I just go to my university dormitory office.
That's great.
Things are structured and easy. That's one of the things I love about Korea is everything is kind of convenient. I study environmental engineering. I have a quite small department. It's not really popular major in my university. It's a bit quite challenging because my mother tongue is not English and everything is taught in English.
Okay.
It takes a little bit time to get used to it, get used to professors and everything.
The problem I faced when I entered Korea University was that even though the university positions itself as an international university, there are some classes that are mandatory for me to listen that are taught in Korean, which I wasn't expecting at all because they took me without topic exam. I only provided my English certificate, and now I find out that I have to listen some lectures in Korean. So, has anything like this happened to you in UNIST?
No, I'm quite fortunate in that manner. My university is when I was even applying, I researched that like everything is 100% taught in English.
That's
Are you
great.
sure about that? And they were like, yes, everything is in English. So even though currently I'm 4th-year student and I'm the only foreign undergraduate in my department, and like in a class of 30 people, I'm the only foreigner. But despite that, my professors are like, it's mandatory to speak in English. I'm going to teach the class in English.
That's great.
And I had the SLA lectures. So it's like humanities lectures where you need to discuss a lot of things within class and with professors. Despite some students had challenges speaking English, my professors were like, okay, now you told your idea in Korean, now please translate it in English for your foreign friend. Even though I was the only foreigner, professors made effort that I was comfortable in class.
Oh, that's great.
In terms of mandatory courses, no, none of them were in Korean. I had only one class that was in Korean and mandatory for me, and that was like Korean language 1.
Okay.
So I was quite fortunate in that.
This is great. Okay, so from what I've heard, it seems like you didn't experience any discrimination because you being foreigner.
Discrimination? So I couldn't not say any discrimination because I faced some. It does not have to necessarily be in class. But for example, this past semester, I had quite a bit issue with the professor. I had a class and team project that I had to do with some other students. And sometimes it happens with people that they exclude you from the group projects. It does not have to be any reason that you're like quite big challenge in academic manner or anything else. But since you're a foreigner, they don't wanna, go through the hassle to divide all the hard work and try to, do the communication. So sometimes they kind of a little bit exclude you. But first time in my fourth year, I'm going to graduate this summer. First time in fourth year, I was excluded fully. So
Okay.
I got the assignment, we discussed the team project, and after some time they stopped contacting me, and they did the whole assignment by themselves, whole presentation and everything. At the end of the semester, I talked with the professor about the issue. He told me sometimes, like with people, sometimes it happens. It does not have to be about Korean or foreigner thing, but everyone sometimes this kind of things happens. But I was the only one held responsible for that problem because I talked with the professor. I told him, yeah, sometimes we experience these. I also had a lot of team projects in 4 year long. But this was the first time I was excluding fully. And when I talked to the professor, he was like, yeah, that's your problem, kind of. Communication side and everything. I was the only one held responsible. I got an F grade in that course, unfortunately. Whereas other students, they weren't held responsible. Even though I had an hour-long discussion with my professor, he was like, yeah, you need to change your attitude. So, for example, in 4 year long my university life, this was like quite problem that I can call discrimination because he told me that I misunderstood the situation. He knew those students because they were his interns, and I was like, yeah, okay, I understand. You know these guys, but how am I in fault? Because if I didn't if I didn't do the communication on my side, they also didn't do it on their side.
Right.
Even though I asked them what can I do, they didn't respond me. They did the whole project. It's like for me, I had a lot of foreign students in my university, in other universities as well. They also sometimes mention these kinds of problems. So you sometimes face discrimination in between students, not with professors.
Right.
Professors are quite professional in those matters. Whereas in students, sometimes they tend to exclude you. They don't know anything about my academic success or anything that I can do, I cannot do. I was also, given the most easiest task that like people didn't want to do. I was quite okay with that. But for example, my friend, my roommate that I've been living with him for the past 2 years, he told me he was also a data science student. He told me that he had a group project where he was given a task to do programming. I know that day we were in our room studying whole day. He did write the code for whole day, and when he sent it at the end of the day, a couple days later, when they were supposed to do the presentation, they sent him the presentation. He was like, "Where is the code I write? This is not my results." And they told him like, "Yeah, we didn't use yours. We just like use ours." He was like, "Why did I spend my time doing a thing that wasn't even you were not going to use it at all? What?" So after that, he went into a bit of discussion with his friends. At the end, they used this code because it was also not a code he did, but it was also spare. It gave really better results than their friends.
Right.
So he was like, I don't want to use mine because I did it. I want to use it because it gave also alternative results. Why not use mine? So after a little bit of discussion, they had a good result. But sometimes it doesn't happen.
Could you elaborate more on the housing that you were provided with?
So in my situation, I got fully scholarship on tuition. I also do get stipend, monthly stipend, but my housing is not covered by university
I see.
because Dormitory is a different company that works with our university. The housing is quite comfortable for us because before every semester we have a website, we apply for dormitory, whether you want a single room or a shared room. Then we apply, we can choose our roommates. It's like more of a like, not a room, but it's more of a like house, like a flat. because when you go into a door, it's like house door. You have a common living area. Then you have 4 rooms. In each room, 2 people can live. So in total, in one flat, there's 8 people, and in a common room, you can choose your roommates. It's quite comfortable because our university only started operation in 2011. So the dormitory is quite new.
Okay.
And its status quite fine.
So how much do you pay?
So
Monthly?
I don't pay monthly. I made semesterly. So for 4 months, I pay around 836,000 for a shared room.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Whereas if I wanna live in a single room, it costs a little bit more than it's around 1,140,000 won.
Okay.
So it's not expensive. It's really good. I have friends who live in their flat outside the campus. It costs like double for a month because they pay around 450,000 won a monthly with everything, whereas I only pay $836,000 won, and at the end I also get a little bit of refund because it also includes deposit, which is used for electric bill, water bill, and other bills. And at the end, I usually get around like 80,000 won in return. So it's quite good.
Interesting.
How could you get the scholarships in private university?
So my university is a quite competitive one, as I told you, because everyone wants to get in because you get full tuition, you get stipend of 130,000 won.
So anybody who gets in gets full right scholarship.
If you're a foreigner, for Koreans, it's a little bit different. I don't know quite the terms and everything. But for international students, if you get into the university, you get a full tuition.
I see.
You get a monthly stipend, depends on your achievements. So, for example, my friends who are also from Kazakhstan, they are Olympiad students. They are international Olympiad students, and they do get like bronze, gold medals. So, for them, the stipend is 330,000 won.
That's great.
Yeah, for me, I don't have any Olympiad medals, so I get 120,000 more.
Still something.
Yeah, I'm quite fine with that because they did a lot more studying than me. They tried to achieve a lot more, so I understand the disparity. So the tuition, so for international students, you have to be quite outstanding in order to get to the university because every semester the university gets around only 50 students. They reduce it to 15 for 3 years in my years.
Okay.
In my time, 2021, they only accepted 15 students. It was way more competitive in times of COVID. And now they upgraded it to 25 students all around the world. So it's really hard to get in. If you have to be outstanding, you have to be academically outstanding, you really have a good GPA, you have to be able to speak good English. You also submit English tests, IELTS, Duolingo, or maybe TOEFL, or sometimes SAT if they ask for it.
I can confirm that UNIS is quite competitive in that regard. I also applied, but unfortunately I got rejected. I applied for business administration in, I think, 2020, 2018, something like that. But major universities in Korea, like Sky universities, it seems like they have much lower standards for foreign students. Seems like everybody can get into Korean university even Yonsei. But UNIS, if you get in, you're truly special. We can confirm that.
I have friends from other universities, for example, Busan or universities in Seoul. I cannot say that it's quite easy for everyone. Like at bare minimum, you have to have a good GPA, and you have to be able to speak English. And on top of that, if you want to get scholarship and if you want to study well, because as you mentioned, some courses are taught in Korean.
You're right.
You have to be able to speak Korean. My girlfriend, she graduated from Busan. She can speak Korean really fluently. I think she got TOEIC Pro level. in order to graduate, and she also had a scholarship because she was able to speak good Korean from like second year, sophomore year.
Okay. I guess if you live in the dormitory, you don't really have the choice, right? On campus.
Another good part I wanna talk about in UNIS is so they've been taking in foreign students from Central Asia, from like Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, those countries.
Okay.
They understand the difference in religion. So, for example, Muslims they cannot eat pork and they cannot eat meat if it is not halal certificated.
Right.
So they're like, okay, it's really hard to find food for you. So they opened up a cafeteria for only international students.
Wow.
And if you have a full scholarship, you also 2 meals a day that is free.
Wow.
So you get 2 meals a day for free, lunch and dinner. On top of that, there's not a lot of restaurants because our campus is located outside of Ulsan. So in order to get to the city center, it at least takes 30 minutes.
Right.
However, we got like a couple of Korean restaurants, couple of burgers, fast food restaurants. It is fine, but you know, after sometimes you wanna look for other options as well.
How do you usually spend your free time?
So one thing I really love about Korea is cycling roads. I love it. One thing, if people ask me if I prefer Ulsan or Seoul, I would say Ulsan because of the cycling roads and because of the availability. So, you know, as a child, I was riding bicycle, but it wasn't cycling. When I came to Korea, I bought my first bike, really cheap, $150 or something, even less. Then I started cycling with my friends. We started cycling in Ulsan. Then we started to go to other cities. We cycle from Ulsan to Busan, which is around 70 kilometers.
Wow.
Then we go to Yangsan, which is 40. Then we go Miryang, 130 kilometers. Then we start going to Pohang, which is like round trip from Ulsan, Pohang and back is 200 kilometers. We love it because one thing about Korea that I love is people are really respectful for cyclists. They don't honk their car. They don't try to squeeze you in between cars. They wait patiently behind you until you get out of the road or if they have enough space. So I really feel safe even if I'm riding in sunlight or 10 p.m. at night when it's really dark, even if I'm not in cycling roads, in main road, in pitch dark, I really feel safe because people do respect and there's also quite good safety in Korea in terms of that. I even did cross country. I cycled from Ulsan to Busan, where it starts cross country. Then I cycled from Busan to Seoul. It took me 4 days, but it was a journey of a lifetime that I wanna, tell my grandchildren.
Tell us more about your trip that took you 4 days. What did you eat? Where did you stay? And we want more details on that.
So the idea didn't come from me. I have 2, 3 friends that we cycle together. They also love cycling because in Ulsan, it's you don't have a lot to enjoy because it's a small city. We are outside, and we are also foreigners. So we love doing sports. And our university, you have to see it's really beautiful. It's inside the mountains ranges and like really good views and everything, clean air, everything.
Right.
You can do sports there. So we decided what we can do. We can start cycling. It's good. Everything is clean. You have really good views. You can do a lot of sightseeing. Then my friend offered, let's do cross country. I'm like, are we ready for it? Then we started it. At the end of the semester, 2 years ago, summer, we started from Ulsan. We went to Busan to the first place.
Okay.
You buy a passport because you have to stamp on the road where you're going if you did your stops. We stayed, it took for us 4 days. We stayed 2 days in tents and 2 days in hotels because you need to take a shower.
Right.
In that hot summer, humid summer, you have to stay in a hotel, otherwise you're gonna smell really bad. At night, we made a plan. where we want to stay. We don't want to stay in nowhere. We want to stay somewhere close to the city because we also want to be able to eat something because you don't want to carry a lot. It's too hot, it's going to go bad. Otherwise, you cannot carry it. So we stayed in tents. We sometimes ate from Pyeongjeong's, which is GS25, CU, which are 24 hours open. Or sometimes in lunchtime, where we stop on cities because it's too hot at lunchtime, we cannot cycle. We stop there, we have proper meals, we have cup of coffee, enjoy the city a little bit, and we move on.
Sounds amazing, right?
Very nice.